He tours the world playing his guitar with rock stars, and he's proud to highlight his hometown of Las Vegas. Frank Sidoris is our guest this week on Nevada Week in Person.
Support for Nevada Week in Person is provided by Senator William H. Hernstadt.
Welcome to Nevada Week in Person. I'm Amber Renee Dixon. His father was a pit boss and his mother a Las Vegas showgirl. He learned to play the guitar as a teenager, and he now plays for both Slash, featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, as well as Mammoth WVH. He also took on a massive renovation project, rejuvenating one of Las Vegas's oldest bars. Frank Sidoris, thank you for joining Nevada Week in Person.
Thank you.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
We were talking about playing the guitar for Slash, but I'm thinking in my head, well, here's one of the greatest guitarists, right?
Ever,
and you're
yeah.
playing guitar for, how does that even work?
Well, every rock band, most rock bands you've ever seen, they have two guitar players. Usually one guy to kind of keep rhythm with the drummer and the bass player, and then one guy to just rip solos all day. Yeah.
So he's
play riffs and solos.
He's the lead guitarist.
He is the lead guitarist, one of the most iconic, honestly, in history.
And
so it's an honor to do it, and it's not lost on me that we get to do this all the time. Even though we're friends, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's still Slash.
What about the pressure involved in that?
Well, I joined when I was 23, and that was probably the hardest. That was when I really felt the most pressure, because I was 23 and I had touring experience globally, but just not with these guys, on that level. And these guys have been doing it before I was born, and they really took a chance on me, because again, if they were mid 40 something or low, or early 40s and
well established.
Exactly, they've been doing this forever. It's just part of their lives, and to take a chance on a kid, essentially, that was a big risk, and I'm eternally grateful for it. But again, it's a big jump. So I definitely felt the pressure then, but now, again, they're really nice people and very understanding. And there was a couple hiccups, in the beginning, but again, they were just like, you had to learn the hard way, and I definitely did. And again, I'm very grateful for it, considering where we are now, 13 years later.
What do you mean by hiccups?
Oh, just, learning a song incorrectly, or just thinking I was prepared, and then something gets sprung up on you, and it's like, okay, we're doing this song now, and it's just like, oh, well, I didn't know, and just not being. The feeling of not being prepared back then used to just kill me, and now I'm just like, let's just wing it. It's a big jump from that to today. But
well, what kind of impact do you think that had on you as a 23-year-old getting that kind of opportunity?
It made me really prepare for anything I did going forward. Whether it was a very small little like, hey, we're gonna go jam at a bar, or we need you to play with these other big artists for whatever event. Now I was just so prepared after not being prepared a little bit, or just being, I guess, just trying to be ready for anything coming at me, just trying to really analyze everything. And again, that kind of, in a way, now I feel like I'm ready for anything, especially since then. 23, it was tough.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm like these guys, And when I honestly didn't feel it, and then eventually as the shows went on, I was like, yeah, I should be here. I think they've made me feel that way, and I felt like I proved myself as well, which was tough, but I did it.
Oh, how neat.
Yeah.
Okay. Slash is the guitarist for Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is the first rock band to play at Allegiant Stadium, but technically there was an opening band.
I love that you're saying this, yeah.
And that was Mammoth WVH, and that you are the guitarist in that band. So technically you were the first.
Yes.
To open up Allegiant Stadium.
We tell everybody that. It's one of my favorite stories, because I believe Garth Brooks had played, country, and then there was some other artist in a different genre, but we were the first rock band. Because they were advertising like Guns N' Roses, the first rock band, but it's like,
right.
Who opened the show?
You described that as a core level memory. What is a core level memory?
One of those experiences that you're in an immediate flow state of just, they say 5 minutes to show, and then you go out on stage, and then just to see all of Vegas, in a very new stadium watching us, it was so special. It just felt so much more alive than most venues too. And most cities, some cities aren't as excitable, and some cities are real rock cities, and Vegas is one of those industry towns, and sometimes you get the arms crossed up front, but it was just not that at all. It was just the best. And I wore my Golden Knights shirt as well. So everyone, I got a lot of a lot of emails and calls after that, because to not wear a Raiders jersey as a hometown person, you know, I had to. It was our first team ever. Like, I had to represent the Knights. So that was a lot of people, when they first saw it, they were all pointing it out. So it was just a nice hometown moment, just all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that love for the Golden Knights, where does that stem from? Simply because they were the first Major League pro sports team?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, my whole family's from the Midwest for the most part. I grew up loving those teams, the Cleveland Indians and the Browns and all of that. But as time went on, like, to have my own hometown team meant just everything. And I learned how much hockey is just one of the more honorable sports ever. I think it's just a really, I don't know, those guys love each other. No matter, even if they fight each other, they love each other. It's just, it's just a respectable sport. I love it. So again, to have something to root for and wear on a T-shirt, like this is Las Vegas, you know, that's not from a gift shop.
Yeah.
All over the world. It really means a lot to me, because then people, they can't believe I'm from here. It's not normal, you know. But I'm from that generation where that's a bit more prominent. It happens more often, you know, or it happened more often.
Right, it's
Yeah.
changing. Well, and speaking to your deep love of Las Vegas, I noticed that you're wearing a Tark the Shark. It's not a zipper, it's a pin that
It's
you
a
put
pin
on
I
the
put
zipper.
on the zipper, yeah, because I couldn't, it wasn't going through the leather jacket. So yeah, I had to do that just
the
to
late, great
represent.
basketball coach, Jerry Tarkanian.
Of course, yeah. No, I just, you saw them all over the place when I was a kid too. And the guys at the Piero's restaurant, they all wear this on their jackets. And recently one of the guys from Piero's came to Hard Hat, and we were just talking about just Vegas stuff and how much I appreciate that these top tier food and beverage people from Piero's or Golden Steer and Peppermill and whatnot, just like Vegas mainstays, go to Hard Hat after their shift. It means the world to me. So I mentioned the pins at some point, making a joke about, oh, eventually we all need to get the Tark pin. And he's like, well, I have one in my car. I'll be right back. So I had to wear it for PBS Vegas.
Hard Hat Lounge, why take that project on? You mentioned a little bit just now. You're providing almost, well, a community gathering space.
Yeah, growing up in town, like I said, with the show business side of my family, like we'd go to the shows, or I used to be a stagehand at the Flamingo for a magic show, and you know what we would do is go to a PT's or go somewhere after. We'd all just, where do you want to eat? We'll go somewhere like that. And I love that communal, I just love that. Like the showgirls had their makeup on still, everybody was, you know, again, the ties are just hanging to the side, whatever. It's everyone's just have a drink and relax. I always wanted some sort of business in town. I wanted either a bar or a coffee shop. And I love coffee. I'm way into that whole culture. And the bar culture, food and beverage culture is something I love. And so I wanted to just create something that was communal and where all of my friends and food and beverage and entertainer friends can all go and just hang out. And I didn't know how it was going to happen or when, but it just kind of happened. It came across my desk through my friend, and it was just like, how are we going to, we have to make this happen. Like, we can't let this go away, because it's a Hard Hat Lounge. I've driven past it on Industrial my whole life, making deliveries to hotels with for my mom's show, and I would just always pass it, and I'd always see it, and just the fact that that is somehow our building now, it just blows my mind. But again, it was just I wanted to be a part of the community a little bit more than just being on the other side of the bar. I really wanted to just create a space for all of our friends and artists and whatnot, just to kind of hang out,
How cool.
take care of them.
Yeah. When you say delivering for your mom, what were you delivering?
So back then there was, they were called rack cards. They're just little advertisements for ticketing. I don't even know if they exist really anymore, but they were just little, these little posters that you just put in different ticket, what were they? They were like kind of a broker. They were ticket brokers.
Okay.
So you just go deliver these little pamphlets essentially. So tourists, anybody walking by, like back in the Hawaiian Village, that was one of them, and all over the Strip, the fashion show. So I had a whole route, and before the link was there, I used to drive straight across from behind the Flamingo to Caesars.
Okay.
Every day. Back and forth, every hotel dropping off flyers.
Was it your mom that got you that job?
Yes.
Okay, when you are telling
I did not
people,
apply for that job yet.
When you are telling people about your mom, how do you start? Where do you begin?
Now it's amazing, because she just recently, her and my stepfather, Matt Stabile, just passed, it was like 21, 22 years of being producers in Vegas. So I love to tell everyone she was a Vegas showgirl when I was a kid. So she moved here, she was a dancer at multiple shows, but most notably Crazy Girls. So if you have been in Vegas for a couple decades, you know, you've seen the poster, you've seen the billboard, the taxi ad, the bronze statue, all of that. Like, it's just
iconic statue.
Yeah, it's the best.
What was that like, growing up in Vegas and your mother is a part of that statue, which is still on display at Planet Hollywood, right?
Yeah, you know, I think it got taken away. I'm not really sure where it is now, but it's our goal to find it and display it at Hard Hat if we can. So
yeah.
we have to figure that out somehow. Yeah, I'll go fund me and whatever we got to do, but for the town we have to. But yeah, like her whole experience, like. It was just cool. She's famous. She was famous then to me and to all my friends, and obviously as a kid. And if you know the poster or the bronze statue, it was like, hey guys, take it easy. You know, it's my mom. You know, but it was great. Like I love it. I get a lot of photos from friends when they go to vintage stores in town. The shirt, the poster, the mug, the mouse pad, just anything. It was truly iconic.
And you told me off camera that the poster was on a taxi.
Yes, the first poster, the first rollout of that advertisement, the no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes.
And my dad called a taxi cab to go to the house, just in case it would have the poster on. I don't know if they had any idea if it would, but it showed up and it had it. And so it was a photo of me as a 5-year-old, I think, just kind of sitting on the taxi. So yeah, we're all proud of it.
How did she influence you as a person and then as a performer as well?
I think that just by taking my sister and I to the Strip constantly as kids, just for the entertainment purpose. I mean, in the 90s, it was so family-driven. It felt like, or family-focused Vegas for the most part, a lot more than it is, or than it was up until then. And then we're kind of in this middle ground now where it's kind of, you know, there's amusement parks still, but back then MGM had a theme park. Wet n Wild was a thing, and Scandia still existed, and there was one off Trop as well near Polaris. But all that, it was just awesome. She took us everywhere. We saw a million shows. We saw FX all the time. We saw Splash at the Riviera. We were so much a part of the Strip, just by being there. And I think I just loved the whole showbiz aspect of that. And I didn't even think about it. I just enjoyed going to shows and being around a stage and performers and people, and we all love music, you know, and she always played really cool music growing up, same with my dad and my sister, and I thought that the only way to really appreciate the music more was to kind of play the guitar, or play an instrument, you know, because I love music. It's all I had, all I cared about was buying CDs and having tapes back then too, you know, and no one was really a musician, so it was just kind of, I think I've been peripherally influenced in a lot of ways by her.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, well, we're getting close to the end of this, but tell me about what you're doing now. I mean, after this interview, you're leaving to LA to do what? To
write with Slash. So we're in the middle of a new album, and it's a busy experience. Like working with Hard Hat now, like, you know, doing 2 bands is already a lot, and scheduling is tough and things conflict, but having a bar on top of that was an undertaking, but it really is very easy because of the staff and like the people that we've surrounded that bar with are seriously the greatest, and people I've known my whole life. So it's just really easy. So doing all this at once, it's definitely a lot, but I feel like I need that. Like I need that. My brain needs to just be like, what's happening tomorrow? What's happening tonight? You know, and I could probably credit my mom for setting us up for that. Like,
yeah.
That's just what it is.
And what is it like writing with Slash?
In the beginning, pressure, like I said. I felt it, even though he never put it on me or anybody in the band. I definitely felt it, because again, it's like, here's a guy I looked up to my whole life, and I'm a guitar player. He's a guitar player. How's this gonna go? Here, you know, I remember the first moment I was like, well, here's my first idea for this, and he was like, cool, yeah, let's try it. I was like,
nice.
Wow, okay, so.
I gotta wrap you there. We've run out of time. Frank Sidoris, thank you so much for joining Nevada Week in Person.
Do it again sometime.